Yesterday, I gave my body an ultimatum. I took away all the cushions that I had in bed, left only two pillows, and told my body this is all you get for the entire night. Deal with it. You have four options. You can either lie on one side, lie on your other side, on your back, or on your stomach. And if you don't want to do any of those things, then you can go fuck yourself and sit in bed all fucking night. The choice is yours. Now, before I go into the details of what happened next, I want to take the time to explain why I did this because I'm fully aware that from the outside perspective, that may seem like a very, very dumb thing to do. Given everything I've been through, given everything I'm currently going through, it probably seems dumb to force my body to be in a position that it's not comfortable. Well, not that it's not comfortable, that it has difficulty breathing in, and that most likely will trigger more cough. Now, the best way for me to explain this is let us for a moment think of a body as a car. So let's say you buy like the newest car on the market, super advanced, best technology, best everything. In fact, there's even AI integrated into the car. So it's literally a smart car. So everything is great in the beginning, functions fantastic, you're super happy, you don't need to give it directions, it always knows where to go, everything is amazing. And then at some point, for some reason, it decides, you know what? I don't want gas anymore. You're like, but you need gas. Without gas, you'll stop functioning. You'll basically die. And the car's like, I don't care, I don't want gas anymore. And now you're faced with the situation. What do? Do you listen to your car, aka the body, and not give it the necessary fuel that it needs to survive? Or do you say, fuck it, and force feed it? Force the fuel into it, for the car example. Well, in my case, obviously I can't afford to let my body die because if my body dies, every other part of me dies as well. Okay, if you believe in reincarnation and things like that, that might not apply, but that's beyond the theme of today's video. So let's not get into that. So I'm like, all right, it does not make sense to let my body die simply because it's not hungry anymore. So let's try to find a solution. Let's try to find foods it can tolerate. Let's try to find food it perhaps somewhat enjoys. Let's reduce the amount of food temporarily, but let's continue to feed it because it does not make sense to let the body die. And it's the same thing for this. It's the same reason why yesterday I gave my body an ultimatum, simply because for the last 3 weeks, ever since I got radiotherapy, the symptoms have been more intense and I haven't had a good night's sleep. And even before that, pretty much since the symptoms first flared up, which eventually led to the radiotherapy and the increase in symptoms, I haven't been able to sleep properly. And I've known for the past 3 weeks that sleeping in a half-seated position just does not give me a restful night. And I can't take this anymore. I need a restful night. I need to be able to recuperate. I need to be able to not feel exhausted all the time. I don't know if this will help me do that, but I need to give it a try because I can simply not keep going this way. So yesterday, as I said, gave my body the ultimatum. You get two pillows for the entire night, deal with it. So either you can find a comfortable position and give me the restful night that not only I need, but also you need, or you can be a little bitch and you're going to be forced to sit in bed all night in a very uncomfortable position and not sleep a wink and be even more exhausted than you are now. And in the beginning, as expected, had a lot of difficulty breathing, tried on one side, and the thing is, I know my body enough at this point to know like it needs a while to get used to a certain position. So even though it's difficult breathing and I'm like, I feel like it's just gonna get worse and worse, I'm gonna suffocate, and like there's that sensation, I'm like, no, let's just ignore that, let's stay in this position and allow the body time to get used to it. So that's what I did, and eventually it sort of got used to it enough that I was able to start relaxing. And, you know, I did have to flip around to the other side at some point. I did wake up multiple times throughout the night. There were moments where I had to kind of sit up to catch my breath a little or to cough, which usually kind of like opens up my lungs a bit. So definitely not super restful night, but because I was in a much more comfortable position than I've been in the last 3 weeks, I was actually able to get a decent amount of sleep, and I was able to sleep for longer. So yes, I did toss and turn and toss. Wait, is it toss and turn or turn and toss? Anyway, whichever one. Let's just say I did both. I tossed and turned and tossed. Um, and I did cough and I had to get up a couple times to go to the bathroom. And it wasn't exactly like I just went to sleep and then woke up 8 hours later. Let's be realistic. And I was super rested, but I was able to sleep for longer. So I went to bed around 9 o'clock yesterday. And even though, as I said, I woke up a couple of times and I got up a couple of times, by the time I finally legit got up and started my day, it was almost 10 a.m. So obviously, I didn't sleep the entire time. I don't know how much actual sleep I got, but I actually feel rested for the first time in 3 weeks. Not fully rested, and yes, I still look exhausted. I still have bags under my eyes and everything, and it's going to take much more than just one adequate night of sleep in order to recover all the sleep that I've lost. But it just feels so much better because yesterday I'm just like, I can't take the exhaustion anymore. I just can't. And this is also kind of a reminder of, remember, I don't know, 3, 4 videos ago when I shared that story about how I overcame or how I beat my asthma when I was young? And it's by realizing like, oh, okay, I don't actually need the pump. It's just the placebo effect, me believing that I'm taking it that's working. So I just stopped, and it took a while for my body to get used to it. I kind of took that same principle yesterday, but condensed it into a night, like the extreme version of that of you get 2 pillows, either you sleep or you die. Okay, not exactly to that extreme, but to my body, that's kind of what it felt like. So, very extreme version of that. And in the beginning, I did kind of regret it. It was very difficult to breathe, but in the long run, and the fact that I was able to sleep more and partially recover from my exhaustion, it was definitely a very, very good choice. So, it was a fun experiment. I'm glad with how it turned out, but it could have gone either way. I have no way of knowing. Or I had no way of knowing, now I do. So yeah, it was an interesting experiment. And that's why I took the time to explain why I did it, because it's like, I'm not stupid. I know how important it is to respect your body, to allow it time to rest. But that was exactly why I did this, because my body was not giving me the rest necessary. So in order to get that rest, to take care of my body, I had to force it to do something uncomfortable. It's, tough love, basically. I had to use tough love on my own body because trying to respect it was just not giving it what it needed and what I needed. So, yeah, it was an interesting, kind of scary experiment, but very glad I did it. And I think that from now on, I'm going to keep doing that every night because, yeah, okay, every time I wake up, I still have trouble breathing and I'm coughing more and stuff like that. But it's like I wasn't coughing anymore, have any more trouble breathing this morning than any other morning. So it's like sleeping like this or sleeping almost flat seems to make no difference. It's just one is way more comfortable than the other and allows me to sleep a much more deep, restful, regenerative sleep. So I'm pretty sure that's how I'm going to keep sleeping from now on. So yeah, that was my experiment last night, and I would say it was a success. So yeah, today I'm pretty optimistic. Even though it is raining outside, or at least it rained, everything is wet, and I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I would like to go grocery shopping a little if possible, but I don't know, whatever. Today is gonna be a good day, if not for the simple fact that I'm just not completely exhausted for a change. So today's gonna be awesome, and talk to you tomorrow.